أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أهلا وسهلا بكم في مادة التجويد. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the summary of our lesson for week 9. Alhamdulillah, in Quran we have finished Surah Taha and we finished Surah Maryam. So inshallah, the next week we are starting from Surah Al-Kahf. Here is the beginning of Surah Maryam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كاف ها يا عين صاد ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا. So inshallah, when we go back to our Quran, we'll be able to recite the beginning of Surah Maryam, because these letters you have to learn how to pronounce them. The first kaf, you prolong it up to 6 beats. Ya, ha, ya, 2, that one you don't prolong it. Ayn, also you prolong it up to 6. Sad, also. This is about Quran, and let's continue with the summary about at-tajweed. I take us a little bit back to revise the beginning or to the introduction to at-tajweed. We said tajweed has 2 different definitions: common meaning, which means perfection, huwa al-ityan bil jayyid, and the technical meaning is to give each letter its right and dues. Then we said nunu sakina hiya al-majzuma. When we say nunu sakina, we mean the nunu that has sukun, wal jazma hiya sukun. Ay jazma means sukun. Nun sakina is the nun with sukun. Also, at tanween, we said nunu sakina and tanween, they are all the same. The only difference is nunu sakina, you see the nun, while tanween, you don't see the nun. The nun is invisible, but you can hear the sound of the nun. There are some example. Qalamun, this is tanween. So it's just like qalamun, the one with nunu sakina. The sound is the same, but the way you write it, this is dhammatain, and this one has the physical nunun with sukun. Basiran, basiran. Jamilan, jamilan. Also, rules of nunu sakina and tanween has 4 rules. This is an example of tanween: fathataini, kasrataini, and dhammataini. Then the first rule is al-izhar. Al-izhar means manifestation. Manifestation means you make the sound of nunun clear. For instance, an, you don't have to hide it, you don't have to insert it, you don't have to turn it. An, that is manifestation, the first rule. The second rule, al-idgham, which is insertion. Then al-iqlab means turning. You turn the sound of nun, sakina, or tanween to small mimun. Then al-ikhfa, you hide the sound of nun, sakina, and tanween. Whenever we say al-idhar, al-idgham, al-iqlab, that simply means we are going to apply all these rules in nun, sakina, and tanween. When we say idhar means to make clear, what are we going to make clear is the nun, sakina. When we say al-idgham, what are we going to insert is the nun, sakina. Al-iqlab, what are we going to turn? Or what are we going to turn is the nun, sakina. Also ikhfa, to hide, what are we going to hide is the nun, sakina and at-tanween. Al-idhar, the first one has 6 letters. The second one also has 6 letters. The third one, which is al-iqlab, has only 1 letter. Then the remaining 15 letters for al-ikhfa. Then we have izhar. Ainun, ha, ghain, kha, hamza, and ha. These are the letters of izhar. Idgham, yarmaluna, ya'un, ra'un, mimun, lamun, and nunun. Then iqlab has only one letter, while ikhfa has the remaining letter. صف ذا ثنا كم جاد شخص قد سما دم طيبا زد في تقى ضع ظالما. Example: وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ. An, we have seen Nun Sakina and followed by Zai. Then we go back to the rules. Zai falls under the letters of Ikhfa. Therefore, this rule is Al-Ikhfa. When someone asks you, وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ, there is Nun Sakina. What is the name of this rule? You say it is Al-Ikhfa. Why? Because after Nun Sakina, there is Za, and Zai is the letter of Ikhfa. Therefore, we are going to hide the sound of Nun. You cannot say Anzalnahu. You say Anzalnahu. You hide, or you are hiding the sound of Nun Sakina. Ayatin Bayinatin. This is example of Iqlab. Ayatin, this is Tanwin. Also, like Nun Sakina. Ayatin Bayinatin. So we turn the sound. Ayatin Bayinatin. Instead of us to say Ayatin Bayinatin, we turn the sound of Nun Sakina to small mim. Then Bayinatin wa. Tinwa. This is example of Al-Idgham. After Tanwin, there is Waw, and Waw is the letter of Al-Idgham, which is one of the it is the letter of Yarmaluna. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَن يُرِيدُ. Also, مَن يُرِيد, Nun Sakina. After Nun Sakina, there is Ya, and Ya is the letter of Al-Idgham. Another example: اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت. An, Nun Sakina. After Nun Sakina, Ain, and Ain is the letter of Al-Idhar. Al-Wajib al-Manzil. Give one example. You are expected to write it in your book. One example for each rule, or for each rule from the rules of Nun Sakina and Tanwin. That means you open your Quran and find out one rule for each each rule of Nun Sakina and Tanwin. For instance, Al-Izhar, which has 6 letters, you find one example. Al-Idgham, which has 6 letters, you find one example. Al-Iqlab, which has 1 letter, you write one example. And Ikhfa, which has 15 letters, you find only one example. Barakallahu fikum wa fatahallahu alaykum. Ma'as salama.